this. So I'm going to give you the short, quick version of how we run goals, rocks, which are quarterly goals. And then we integrate those into weekly meetings. Okay.
Sure.
So you heard us talking today about one-on-one meetings. You heard us talking today about rocks. So this is your one-on-one meeting format. You currently do morning huddles, right? And then there's a weekly one-on-one. So that weekly one-on-one is with the leader and team member. The tools that we use during those one-on-ones, so typically it's 30 to 60 minutes. The tools that we use to keep us on track, you on track with your personal and professional goals, and us on track as an organization in providing those opportunities and also, helping you track on those goals.
Okay.
We use quarterly rocks, a 411 planner, and the scorecard. Okay. Now, when we sit down in a one-on-one, questions that we ask in this order are what goals are we celebrating? What have we done well? What's worked well? What do we need to fix? What is the score? How do we get caught up? Now, if you're at scorecard measurement, or you've gotten to your goals, then obviously we're not going to discuss how do we need to get caught up. You hit your goal for the week. Okay.
Sure.
Now goals come in many different forms, right? The scorecard is how many calls did you make? How many contacts did you make? How many offers did you make? How many listings or acquisitions contracts did you get? That's the scorecard, right? It's measuring the beans.
Yep.
The 411 planner is what does your yearly goals look like? So both professional and personal yearly goals put on a 1-year goal planner for both you and me to review and work towards. Now, a lot of people do a vision board, right? So if you do a vision board, you paste everything on your board, and then where do you put the board? Well, how often are you reviewing it? How often are you tracking on it? How often are you seeing how close you are to measuring up to that goal? So we take the 1-year goal and we break them down into quarterly rocks, which would be a quarterly goal for you. So to give you an example here, Jimmy's quarterly goal was to purchase 7 homes and save $30,000 to buy his first multi-unit. Okay. He went off and then he said, these are the things, if I go and I accomplish these milestones in 90 days, I will be able to accomplish my goal of saving $30,000 for the multi-unit. And that is here on his personal goals: purchase multifamily properties that generate $250 or $2,500 a month in passive income by the end of the year. Right. Well, Step one is purchase one. And then from there, he needed 30 grand down. And how was he going to do that? Well, he had to buy and sell 7 houses. Okay. Yep. So part of his personal goal was sell wholesale properties with an average profit of 10K, sell 15. That was 5 a month. And then his other goal is one of my jobs as a leader is to make sure that your personal and professional goals are in harmony. Like if you say, I want to make 200 grand a year, and then on the right, you say I want to work 2 days a week, that's probably not going to line up. Right. Conversely, you would see a lot of times people are like just driving towards all these professional goals and they don't have any personal goals. If you don't have a big why behind all of this, then you're done in 1 year. You won't drive, towards, if you don't have purchased multifamily properties, learn creative financing. These are big goals that last longer than a year and that also allow him to become a different person and carry out, a lot more for 5 to 10 years, not just 1 year. So anyway, that's the goal. You got to think of a big vision for yourself, both personally and professionally. Okay. And the big vision is going to be, we're going to start on the big vision by putting out 1-year goals. So again, Jimmy's an easy example because he's good at setting goals and reaching them. But here, each one of these 1-year goals plays into a much bigger vision for him, right? And when we interviewed you and brought you on board, we talked about what's the 2-year vision of your life, what's the 5-year vision of your life. And today, when we get into the nuts and bolts, we're going to boil that down to your 1-year goals. Okay. And this is how we make sure you get there. Quarterly rocks. In those quarterly rocks, we have the milestones. What are the obstacles that could stand in your way? And what are the next steps that you need to take in order to get there? Could be an obstacle, or it could be something that you need to learn. Could just be task related. Could be a project that you need to knock down. Any of those things would go in here as milestones. So for him, he had some training ones: push deeper on pain points, get better objection handling. Here's one that he's going to carry to next quarter: buy a package deal with 5+ properties. He thought that would play into 7 homes per month. He hit 7 homes per month without buying a package deal. Time block for follow-up calls. So there again, something task related. These are training related, using spreadsheets and submitting them with deals, which he's done a great job at. That's how he knows up front what our profit's going to be and that we're going to have a good deal. Run pro formas on multi-units and walk properties with PM. So those were his milestones, that if he did all those things last quarter, he would ensure that he was going to buy 7 homes and save 30 grand. But by the way, he did hit this goal.
What a badass. Good for him.
What's that?
I said, what a badass. Good for him. That's awesome.
Yeah. And so we put these goals out there for the whole team. So they're over here on the right. When these guys filled these out, you have Kara's goals here. Jimmy's goal I just showed you on the other sheet. There's Jamel. Kara, for instance. When we did hers, I just reviewed hers with, you're not gonna be able to see that very well, but anyway, she hit these goals in 90 days, her 1-year goals in 90 days. Now she has to keep it up, but bought a new car, doing more hockey. We went through time blocking exercises and paying off some debt. So I think Kara is we don't have her final numbers in, but I think she was around 15,000 a month. They were both around 15,000 a month in income.
Gotcha.
All right. So they both hit income goals. That's on everybody's goal, right? Make 200 grand a year.
Okay.
So they both hit those goals. What I'm trying to share with you and show you is that once you hit these personal goals over here, your income and professional goals, you have to have personal or a big Y goal to tie to it. That's what's going to keep you engaged for a much longer period of time and obviously allow you to keep elevating. Otherwise, you just stay where you're at or drift backwards. Make sense?
Yeah. And the way to coast is downhill.
Bingo. You busted my chops. All right, you want to do the exercise now?
There you go now. That's fine.
All right, let's do it. So I do have some questions like pasted in here to kind of follow along. Something must be going on, the internet's lagging here. All right, you with me?
Yep.
All right, so obviously this is based off of Kerry Keller's one thing. His one thing exercise would say professional on the left, personal on the right. And then you would break down each one of these professional and personal goals into monthly and weekly action steps. That's what the 411 would do. So we run EOS as an operating system, which has quarterly rocks. We have the vision of the company, which is a VTO, vision traction organizer. And then we have quarterly 1-year plans and quarterly rocks for the company. So we do quarterly rocks, which are quarterly goals for you as the agents. And that way they run alongside of what the company's doing. And then hopefully they all mesh together. We don't usually typically take this 411 planner and break it down into monthly and weekly tasks. We use the rocks for that. Okay. Now, I haven't mentioned it yet. When we review these rocks, it's in a weekly meeting. Okay. So we have a weekly team meeting where we review rocks, and we would say, Jimmy, have you been able to accomplish any one of your milestones in the past week? Yes, no. Yes, I checked this off. Okay. What's the next one you're working on? And if he says buy properties, buy a package deal with 5 properties, then I'm going to put that on a 1 to 7 day or 7 to 30 day tasks, however long it's going to take him. And I'm going to assign it to Jimmy. And I'm going to give it a date. Okay. So now in the weekly meetings, he has a project he's working on that came from his goals, from his quarterly goals. He's working towards this one next, focus on it until it's complete. Right. And if he does this, he'll accomplish his quarterly goal, which is then going to have him accomplish his yearly goals. Pretty simple.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Is this you in here? Sweet. All right, I'm going to have you edit this yourself. Here's the questions. When you're looking at your annual goals, professional goals are your job roles and income.
Okay.
Okay. So job roles, where do you want to be? Where do you want to land 1 year from now? What will your role be 1 year from now? How much money will you be making monthly or yearly 1 year from now? Okay. Jimmy's got some pretty good examples in here. Then you can take these 2 steps now or later, but you do at least have to consider them now. Why is it important to you? Because if you can't answer that, then it shouldn't be over there. The how will it feel once you've accomplished it is something you'll come back to continually drive yourself forward. Now, right now, I just want you to ask yourself, like, if it doesn't give you a whole lot of energy, if you're like, once I've accomplished that, man, I'll feel like I'm on fire. That's something you want to drive towards. If you can't get excited about it, like once you accomplish it, it's not that exciting, then you shouldn't have it up here. Pretty simple.
Yeah. No, I got it.
Right. And then over here on personal, same thing. Okay. Why is it important to you? How will you feel once you've accomplished it? And then just list out what your goals will be 1 year from now. Could be health, could be anything, financial. You list what you want in there.
So are those so not to just like
Yeah.
I guess like focus on his, but it says sell 15 wholesale properties. That's not professional, or is that just his houses? I just want to make sure I'm understanding this right.
So I think this was an older version of his. I know now it says, well, here's JV.
Oh, okay.
It's a great question, though. I'm not sure why he has it over on his personal. It might have related to this JV, which is person.
That's fair. Okay.
That's how I'm looking at it now, but one's 12, one's 15. It's a great question. Cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, there's one thing that I missed. It's up here, personal mission statement. So this would be your big why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Again, you don't have to finish that now. The most important thing is you get your yearly goals in here. But if you think really long and hard, and there's a whole bunch of exercises we can do to come up with a personal mission statement. But it's your big why. You ever done a big why exercise?
No.
You want to do it now?
Sure.
All right. We pretty much did it in your interview, so I'll walk you back through it.
Okay.
When you go to plan out your next year's goals,
Mhm.
why would it be important for you to hit all of your goals?
Oh, okay, okay.
That's just the first question. Why do you get out of bed in the morning?
Mortgage due.
Okay. Hopefully you have a deeper meaning in life than that.
I'm just kidding. Um, I would like so if you're assuming you're asking me right now, I'd really like to make family closest to me proud. They didn't think I should start real estate when I started. They all told me no.
Okay. Why is it important to make them proud?
Because they're the people that I love. They're the people that are closest to me, and I can see as the older I get, the more they need me. It's no longer me needing them as much. Um, so I almost feel like I'm taking on a responsibility of helping them, whether it's financially, etc.
Why would it be important for you to take on the responsibility of taking care of them?
I mean, they did it my whole life, um, right? It's important to give back.
That about sum it up?
Yeah,
So now I asked you 3 times. You made that easy on me. A lot of people can't get past two. Um, you really should keep asking yourself why. You'll get to a deep place of meaning. Um, this is, deep enough for today, but
yeah,
definitely keep asking yourself why. Like, why is that important? What is it? Eventually it does something for you. Like you're allowed to be selfish. Like, you know, you could be a complete giver and always give and give and give. And in some form that's selfishness because, it's because of what it's doing for you.
sure.
So long as it's all positive and not negative, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, so just keep that in mind. And I'd keep asking yourself why this is important. Okay. And then you'll get to a more defined personal mission statement.
Yeah,
You keep working on it over the years. It doesn't all have to be perfectly refined right now. Yours is very much like mine. So mine is to have the greatest impact that I can on as many people as I can to give back what's been given to me. And I've been saying that and embodying that for 15 years. I'm so grateful to have it. It's a lighthouse, right? It's no
right.
matter what happens or what comes up or what changes there are, there's this lighthouse or beacon that I'm just pointed towards and I keep going that way. And that way, the rest of the stuff, that's what this is for. As your goals change, as your personal goals, professional goals change, as you hit them, you should always be pointed at this personal mission statement. Okay. That way, it doesn't matter where you are, who you're with, what you're doing. Like it's all for the same purpose. It's all for your big why.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
So the more inner work you do on that, the happier you're going to be with what you're accomplishing. Okay.
Okay.
With that being said, go ahead and take a couple minutes and write down your job role and income goals for 1 year from now. You're already in the sheet, so you can go ahead and just take over from here. Okay.
Okay.